It's linkme or ISP. And that's why I don't know if Noelle is the right choice for voting. I'm just kidding. As we get closer to the election, it gets more tense on campus.
Listen, whether you vote for me or not, I don't care. But
I am not a crook, is what she said. Okay. All right. What we found was that in Hillary's leaked emails, she has been contacting Noelle, and Noelle's denying it. So it's just getting really crazy right now. Okay. We're going to jump into how to format the pivot table that we were working on. We should be on page 477, EX 477. And trying to see where we were at yesterday. We did the average, I think. Did we already do those? Yeah, we did the averages. Good. That's where I had my sticky from yesterday. It was 477. So we are going to go ahead and start on that right side. If necessary, click the field list button for the pivot table tools analyze. So we want to be in the pivot table. So we're going to go ahead and click in here. Click in here. We want to analyze. And we're clicking into the pivot table. That way we get our tools up here so that we can go into the Analyze tab. Got it. Okay. If necessary, click cell A3. I'm going to go up to A3. Display the pivot table tool design tab and apply pivot style medium 12 to the pivot table. So we're going to go over to design. Move that out of my way. And we're going to go into pivot table, what was it, medium 13 or 3? I was way off. Medium 12. Let's see. Ooh, I got it though. So medium 12. So if you need to find that one, you're just going to drop down the styles. You're going to go into medium. You can count. But this is the one I have right here. Now we want to insert 2 blank rows above the pivot table in A1 and enter the title. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll up to the top here. Whoop. If you're going to insert 2 rows, we're going to click on 1, go down to 2. So we've highlighted those 2. We're going to right mouse click and say insert, and it's going to shove everything down. So now we can type in those titles, which are linkme ISP. And at A2, we want to put average, startup, comma, 2016 and 2017. We want to merge and center all these rows. We're getting good at this, right? We can merge and center with the best of them, correct? We're going to make this what? Without even looking at the book. What are we going to make A1? Title. There we go. We're getting good at this. That's how we do this quickly. We're going to make A2. I bet they're going to tell us like heading 2 or something like that. Whoops. What does it say? A1, title slide, bold the text, apply heading 2 to A2. I didn't bold the text on the A1, so I'm going to go up here and hit Control B. I've bolded it. Then we want to change the field name in cell B5 to average 2016 startup. So B5, I'm assuming though that what we have is the wrong information. Did they tell us to get rid of 2 of these yet? No. Well, I'm looking at what they want us to do in the book. Sum of revenue, sum of revenue. Do they want us to hide those or what? Click the add button, insert calculated field. So we added those 2. Click the add button, click OK in the dialog box. Good. Title. A1, change the field name to average 2016 startup. Change the field name with C5 to average 2017 startup. Oh, here we go. We missed this up at the top. Display the pivot tail. This is on number 1. Display the pivot tail field task pane and then click to remove the check mark in 2016 revenue and 2017 revenue. So I'm going to go back up here to Analyze. And we're going to take out the revenue, check, and check. That eliminates. So right over here, we're just going to uncheck these two boxes. So now we have the sum of the average still there. Myra. Was that a hand or? No. Oh, you got it? If Amy's got it, we're good. I mean, we're done. I'm just going to close this session out right now. Thank you. Don't forget to tip your waitress and try the veal. Oh, okay. Ooh, veal's not good. Yeah. So we got that. We're down. Now we're going to go back down there, and we're going to change B5, Bravo 5, to average 2016 startup. Who remembers how we can do this? Number format. What if we just click in here and say, change the name of it to average? It's a pivot field name that already exists. Is it going to let me do it? No. Hello. Place a space. Okay, so it's saying this one already exists. So we're going to put a space in front of the name. Then we're going to hit enter. They're giving us a little trick right here. So it's telling us we already have this name. So instead of sum of, I'm just going to put a space and then hit enter. All right. Now we want to change the column. Oh, we want to apply the currency format with 2 decimal places and a dollar symbol to the startup fields. So I'm just going to highlight this whole thing. Whoops. And I'm going to go over to currency. Can I drop down to currency? No. Drop down to currency here. Currency. So it's 2 decimal places and a dollar sign. And then what we want to do is we want to change the field size of B12, or I'm sorry, B and C to 12. So I'm going to highlight B and C, right mouse click, go down to column width, and put in a 12. Did it work? Good to go? Now we want to wrap and center these names. So when we wrap, how do we do that? It's a hip hop, a hip hop, Anna. No, it's a W-R-A-P. Okay. So we're going to click wrap right here. Wow, wow. I'm ready. Ask me the question, Crystal. I'll tell you no lies. You click on the B, and then you scroll over to the C. Then you right mouse click on the C, or Charlie, for those of us who have been in the military, not me. You go down to column width, and then you type in a 12, which is a 1 followed by a 2. Then you hit the enter button, and it will shrink those two. That was pretty precise. And then we wrap. Wow, wow. Okay, so we're going to go up here to this wrap text button, but we want to have selected B5 and C5, and then click wrap text. It's a wrapper's delight. Have you seen that new, is it the Geico commercial? It's lemonade. No, it's iced tea. Or, hey, it's iced tea. No, it's lemonade. Selling lemonade. Use the field button list now, the plus minus buttons and the field header to hide the field list, the expand collapse buttons, and the field headers. So we're going to go back up here to Analyze. We're going to click this buttons button, and it takes away all those little buttons right here. Now, you know what's interesting is that we got rid of B and C, but this doesn't look right. I'm going to unwrap this, or unmerge and center, because I did this after the fact. So I'm going to unmerge and center. And then I'm going to merge and center again right here, and I'm going to merge and center right here. And because this one is wrong, it's not actually heading 2. I'm just going to make it normal, and it's going to get rid of that line. So I apologize. I hadn't eliminated those 2 columns. But now it looks right. We can do this, right? You did it. You can do it. Now we're going to format the pivot chart. So we have this pivot chart down here. I'm going to drag it up to just beside this thing. I'm actually going to drag it down a little bit so it's about the same size.
Is that like the chart that we worked on yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Put that with you.
I'm going to sneeze. It's one of those sneezes that came and then didn't happen, but it's right there. So if I'm sorry, it's the splash zone. You were forewarned. Okay. Whew.
That is nasty.
That is nasty.
Okay.
You texting in the middle of class is nasty.
I'm not texting, I was checking my email.
Oh, okay. You checking your email.
Yeah.
What's email? Does anybody else check their email? So 5 minutes ago.
Oh, sorry, I'm old.
At 19, you're not old.
Thank you.
Okay.
I love looking like a baby.
If necessary, click the pivot chart to select it. I've clicked on the pivot chart. Move and resize the pivot chart so it goes from D1 to D15. Okay, did that. Apply style 12 to the pivot chart. So we're going to go up here to design. We want pivot style 12. Sing it, Amy. Design! Stop. I've been working on it for a long time. Okay. And then we want to use the chart quick colors button. So we're going to go over here to colors 3. And we want colorful 3, I think is what it said. Is that right? To pick color 3 in the colorful area. Yeah, so colorful, color 3. Now we want to change the legend. We're going to go up here to add an element and where the legend is. So we're going to hit the plus. We're going to go down to legend and we're going to re-put the legend up to the top, not on the side. So right now it's on the right. We want to put it on the top. Me hitting my control button to show you what I got. It doesn't work that way. Top. So it moved it up here. Now we can go to on Analyze, our field button list again here, uncheck it, and it takes away all the buttons that we could analyze with. We can hide that, and we're going to hit Save. Why did it come up as Save As? Oh well, I'll just save it. Good. So we've done that. Now we're going to add slicers. This is on the expert certification. I'm going to give you a forewarning. I didn't even know what a slicer was before I took my cert. Okay? But guess what? One of the beautiful things about the cert is you have the whole program available to you. You just don't have help and file open. Those are the two things that aren't in existence. So, like I was like, a slicer? What the heck's a slicer? But I knew it had to do with pivot tables. So I was able to go in and find this function. So I'm letting you know that you could find this function. So if we want to copy, let's see here. Why would you use a slicer rather than a row, column, or report filter? One effective way to analyze pivot table data is to use slicers to filter the data in more than one field. Slicers let you refine the display of data in a pivot table. They offer the following advantages over using a normal filter. In a pivot table, use the filter button to specify how to filter the data, which involves a few steps. After you create a slicer, you can perform this same filtering task in one step. So that's one benefit. You can filter only one pivot table at a time, whereas you can connect slicers to more than one pivot table filter area. And Excel treats slicers as graphical objects, which means you can move, resize, and reformat them. And it's kind of a cool thing because instead of having to have everything exposed, you can just have this button over here on the right, and we can create a slicer and say, hey, look for basic cable or whatever. Bless you. You got my sneeze. So let's go ahead and create a canvas for exploratory analysis of revenue data. We're going to Bless you again. We're going to create a copy of the average startup by region worksheet. I'm going to go ahead and go over here. Is that this one that we just called it? Yeah, this is. We're going to rename this to average startup by region. And I'm going to copy this one. So I'm going to right mouse click it. Move or copy. Create a copy. And I'm going to move it to the end. But you have to make sure you have create a copy selected. Remember how this makes an exact duplicate? So it's number 2 now. I'm going to rename this to slicers. Apply chart style 8 to the pivot chart. So we're going to click on this, go to design. We're going to make this, instead of 12, we're going to make it 8. You click on the chart and use style 8. I just realized that the windows are all open from yesterday. It's probably making it a little bit harder to see. Okay. Set the column width, apply pivot style medium to the pivot table. Okay, so we're going to come over here and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do our design and it's medium 20. So we're on medium, what are we on here? Medium 12. Medium 20 is right here. It's below it to the right. And then set the column widths for E and F to 17 and 19. So column E, I'm going to do my width of 17. And F, column width, is going to be 19. Okay. Oh, and they want this to be completely in D. So I'm going to shrink this one down about here. And I'm going to pull D over. What did we already do? So you should have your entire pivot chart in D, and then we have E and F that we've just created sizes for, and we'll have ABC over here. Some people. No, it's Excel, not poo. Yes, I did.
Are you addicted to that Diet Coke?
Don't tell your secrets on YouTube. You're not going to tell my wife my secrets. You're all failing.
It's okay, my dad's addicted to Coke syrup and Diet Coke.
I like Diet Coke. It's the breakfast of champions.
That sounds like you're addicted to. Do you drink
More
more than 1 a day?
than one a day? What do you think I am, crazy? I've got 2 right here. Of course I do. Okay. I went in, I thought I had a heart condition a couple years ago. I went to the doctor, and the guy's like, well, everything looks normal. I'm like, well, it was weird. I was just kind of, my heart felt like it was fluttering. He's like, well, do you drink any caffeinated drinks? I'm like, well, Diet Coke. He's like, well, how much? I'm like, I don't know, 3 44 ounces a day. And he's like, that's like 40 ounces of Diet Coke. I'm like, well, when you make it sound that way, of course it sounds bad. But so I've let up a little bit. I'm not drinking coffee. I'm not drinking energy drinks. It's Diet Coke. It's not that bad. Just water with sodium.
Oh,
All right.
yeah, thank you for adding this. Oh, vitamination constant.
Is what? And caffeine. Shh. Okay, we did our pivot chart. Now let's add some slicers to this thing. So we want to make the pivot chart active, so we want to click into it. And then we want to go up into Analyze. And we want, ooh, look at this. See how it says slicer? ¿Cómo se dice slicer en español? Sliceocio. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. Remember I told you Julio just said add an O to everything. Okay. So we have an insert slicer button. So we're going to go ahead and click on this. Now it drops down all the different slicers that we can do. We want to click. We want to place check marks in the revenue, venue, region, and service type. So revenue, region, service type. Is that it? Just those three? Yep. And then click OK. Now, notice that, yeah, O to the Kazay is right.
Don't encourage.
I like that. At least something's getting into George. I appreciate that. Now we're going to format these slicers. The struggle is real. We're going to drag this one up here to the E area, echo, to the E. And I'm going to drop this down to about here. I'm going to bring the region just below it. Drop it into about here. Bring service type over here. And drop this into that column. It's looking good. Now we might want to change our slicer style. I'm just trying to make sure we did everything. Hold the control key down the one time, click each. Okay, so we want to select all three of these slicers. So we're going to click on this. Oops, no, that's not what I want to do. We're going to click right here at the top. Click on that slicer. Hold the control key down. Click on this slicer. Hold the control key down still. Click on this slicer. And then we're going to go to options. And we've got styles up here, again, that we can do. And we want to choose style, light style 5. So we have light, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the one we want to choose right here. Oh, changes the colors. So then we can click anywhere to deselect the slicers. Just click somewhere else. Yours doesn't look that color? It's you're colorblind. It's the
You just go, you gotta change it, you gotta change the design.
you didn't change the design. It was the program that did it, Crystal. It was the program.
Oh my God.
Okay, so why use slicers? Slicers provide you with a visual means for filtering data. You don't need to have knowledge of Excel to use the pivot table. So we can use these bad boys over here now. This is what George should show his boss. George should do this for Sprint. Be like, but look, we could say, what if everybody in the world buys an iPhone 7 like they're supposed to, and then throws away their Samsung crap? This is what we could do. So what we can do is we can select revenue just by clicking, or like the online revenue. Let's see, what do we want? We want other venues, I'm sorry. So we want to click on this. And notice that it instantly changed everything in the chart and in the table. Instantly changed everything because it filters it all through.
Well, isn't that kind of like the same thing as the pivot table?
It is a pivot table. We're just giving it commands now so that you don't have to come over here and do it. Yes, April.
It just ran out of time. Can I just close it?
Yeah, but there's no way you ran out of time. You've only been doing it for 20 minutes.
I ended it.
You hit save or finish instead of submit project?
No, I put submit project and then I just timed out when I was on the 7th.
Well, but there's 7 projects.
Yeah, when I was on the 7th project, it just timed out. And I was trying to just skip whatever I can.
Okay,
Just to get it.
so that tells you what it is. So you got 22.9. You're getting there. Okay, it's telling us now we want to use the slicers to review data not in the pivot table. Okay, what else do they want us to do here? So we select other venues. Now we can click the clear filter button, which is up here. If we wanted to clear this chart area, we just clear it. Everything comes back. All of our data comes back. Did you take a picture of it? Yeah? Okay. And then click the Deluxe 150 in the service type slicer. And okay, so we're going to select the Deluxe 150. Filters it. Then we're going to, let's see here, click the multi-select button, slicer, and click T1. or T3. So we want to click T3 also. Oh, I'm sorry, multi. Right here is click multiple selections. And then we're going to just hit save. So that wasn't too hard, right, slicers? Oh, you lost me. I had you at slicer.